real estate, the whole point of doing this is I want agents to truly be affected by a story. Anybody can do training, anybody can listen to training, but like, why do we put ourselves through these trainings? What are we gaining from these trainings? I want you to, basically be traumatized by enough by these trainings so that you remember, oh shit, that guy got arrested. I don't want to get arrested. Oh shit, that chick got killed. I don't want to get killed. You know what I mean? I want you to think of these outcomes before getting yourself into these pickles. And in this case, definitely, I don't want you to get yourself into this pickle. I don't want you to get your clients into this pickle. And this is a very important one because this will affect every single purchase you help your clients through, especially cash deals. So the title of today's episode is the $1.57 million email. In 2019, a buyer in the Washington, D.C. area wired a $1.57 million. That was weird how it worded it. Sorry. Wired $1.57 million to close on a property. The instructions came through the same email thread that they'd been using for weeks with their agent and the title company. So it was like the same thread, replied back and forth. Nothing about it looked unusual. The tone matched. The transaction details were accurate. It just felt routine. What the buyer didn't know was that someone had gained access to one of the email accounts involved in the deal. The hacker had been sitting in that inbox quietly, reading messages, watching the transaction move toward closing. They saw the date and the amount due, and they saw how much the title company formatted the wiring instructions. They saw how the title company formatted the wiring instructions. So right before closing, they sent updated wire instructions that looked completely legitimate. So the buyer wired the money. Within minutes, the funds were moved and dispersed. Law enforcement later classified it as business email compromise, which the FBI tracks through its Internet Crime Complaint Center. Billions of dollars are lost every year to these schemes, and real estate transactions are one of the most targeted categories. There's no dramatic hacking scene. Most of the time, access happens through a phishing email, reused password, or an account without multi-factor authentication, which Holly will tell you I'm so against two-factor authentication, but we enforce it at this company because we believe in cybersecurity. Once someone is inside, they're going to be just quietly waiting. They're not going to rush. They're going to observe, because real estate, our transactions are predictable. There's large wires, tight timelines, and multiple professionals communicating constantly. So it's an ideal setup for fraud. What makes these cases so dangerous is how normal everything looks. The email often appears in the same thread, the formatting matches, the branding is copied. Sometimes the sender address is off by one character, like we've discussed in the past. Sometimes it's a sophisticated spoof that looks identical, unless you inspect technical header data, which no buyer is doing. So here's the part I want you guys to sit with. If wiring instructions have ever been casually forwarded through email earlier in the transaction, even legitimately, it conditions the buyers to accept that method of communication. When a fraudulent email arrives, it doesn't feel foreign, it feels consistent. When the money disappears, the deal collapses. The buyer is obviously devastated. Banks get involved, federal authorities get involved. Recovery is uncertain and time sensitive. Everyone starts asking what safeguards were in place. The FBI's guidance is straightforward. Do not send wiring instructions by email. Require buyers to verify everything in writing. Verify wiring instructions by calling a known, independently confirmed phone number, not the number in the email that was sent with the wiring instructions. Use multi-factor authentication on every email account, and educate your clients more than once, which I'll give total instructions at the end on how to do that. The critical detail is the phone number. Must be independently verified, not copied from the suspicious email or pulled from a link. Agents, you cannot assume buyers understand this. You do this every single day. They do not. It has to be clearly stated, repeated, put in writing. Before wiring any funds, call the title company using a phone number you have independently verified. Do not trust wiring instructions sent by email, even if they appear to come from me. The DC case is not unusual. It's like there's a ton of them. Brian's going to talk about them. They'll be thrown in the chat. Real estate wire fraud continues to rise year after year, and business email compromise remains one of the FBI's most reported financial crimes. If you think about it from a purely business standpoint, the financial risk is obvious. A lost wire can destroy your commission. A collapsed transaction means they don't get their house. And depending on the circumstances, it can trigger legal exposure for you, the brokerage, an E&O claim, maybe even an ethics complaint if you weren't doing your best to protect your clients. So this isn't about fear necessarily. It's about creating an understanding that email is now part of the risk profile of every deal that you handle. And I'll also add that's another reason why Holly and I hate email and use Slack every chance that we get. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do safety discussion points, but I saw in the chat, Lindsay said that she had something happen to her. Do you want to talk about it? Lindsay.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for letting me know that my mic wasn't working. Yes, actually, I actually had two scenarios. One was a direct client of mine. I was listing their house and we put it under contract. Well, everyone's like, how do these people know? Like, how do these people know where you are in the transaction? And from what I discovered in this particular scenario, I was a listing agent. Client was actually a cop, which made it even more interesting. We put the property under contract. So of course, it was actually at that time, it was in the MLS. So, everybody sees that it goes pending. And I guess that's the flag for these fraudsters to know, hey, we got to get those people's information and start sending them a wire for a phishing email, an email to try to get their information. So he called me and he said, hey, I just got this email from the title company saying that we needed to send over our wiring information, yada yada yada. And I'm like, absolutely not. You're the seller. There's nothing need to be wired. Please forward me that email. And it was that scenario. It was someone phishing that knew they were in the headspace of a closing with, title. And of course, these people, if you think about it, your clients don't live in this world. So they don't know, they might see the title company's name, but they don't know their logos. Like they don't know, you know what I mean? So it's like they just get this professional looking email says, hey, congrats on going under contract. We'd like to, get your wiring information. Here's what we need, da 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 da. And it's like, wow, like just under brief information of a property going under contract publicly. And so, obviously we alerted the authorities, we sent on the information, but if my client hadn't have had that red flag go up and us have that conversation, hey, you will never get an email from the title company asking you to send money. Like it doesn't work like that. And that was, I want to say that was 9 years ago. So, I mean, this has been going on a really long time. And then we did have another situation with an agent I was supervising where her client, who was an elderly woman, actually sent $30,000 So this happened to another brokerage I was managing. And come to find out, they were able to hack into the agent's personal email address that she was using, which is one of the reasons why, as much as you may hate using your brokerage email addresses and you want to use those personal Gmail ones or Hotmail, um, someone ended up hacking into the agent's private, and then was able to send an email looking like the other agent saying that they needed to send money. And I believe they were able to find the guys on that one, but the lady had already wired $30,000.
Holly, can you like take a note? And by Holly, I guess I mean the staff. Take a note for Holly to research our E&O and our cybersecurity to find out if it covers our agents if they use their personal email.
Oh, that's a good one. I will
And my
find.
and my workaround is, I love my email too. I totally get it. What my workaround is, I tell agents is, listen, if you like using your personal, go ahead and have that forwarded to your new company email so you don't miss the emails that come in for the people that know you by that email, and use your company. And that is if, mind you, a lot of companies cut corners. That is if, did your company get that extra security? Is it going to cover you? But at the end of the day, these fraudsters and these people in the tech world are much more intelligent than us. So we're just going to have to, like Sandy and Holly always say, listen, you can't just blindly have them sign that wire fraud notice. You have to have a serious conversation, look them in the eye, because you're talking about a lot of money that can be gone in seconds.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how do you protect your clients? So I talk with my staff about this all the time. Always position things when basically you're salespeople, right? You have to always position everything in with them format. What's in it for me? So if you start spitting legalese or you're just like, sign this, it's another notice, they're going to be like, all right, don't give a shit, whatever. It's your job to educate your clients and to protect your clients. So you have to tell them like wire fraud in real estate is common enough that, you know, this is likely, you have to treat it like it's likely that it could happen to you. So here's what I'm going to do to protect you. First of all, I need you to know that I, Sandy Burnett, would never email you. I'm never going to email you wiring instructions. Second of all, I want you to know that if the title company does email you wiring instructions, I need you to research the number independently of that title company and call them and verify the wiring instructions, because usually title companies um, don't do that, but actually sometimes like our attorneys do in this area. That's kind of weird. But you need to independently verify it. Like I've seen many cases where clients have lost a lot of money in this circumstance. So this is why I'm about to make you sign this form that says I've educated you on this, blah, 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 right? So give these buyers simple, specific warning signs. Any email that says wiring instructions have changed, a sudden sense of urgency around wiring, slightly altered email addresses, even by one letter, instructions to wire a different bank than previously discussed, requests to keep the change confidential. People assume scams look sloppy, but these people are getting better. So they have to understand that these look professional. So you agents should be saying, you're never going to receive wiring instructions from me by email. If you ever get wiring instructions through email, stop and call the title company directly using a phone number you already have. Do not use the phone number in the email. One warning at contract signing is not enough because people forget you're like blasting all kinds of information, earnest money, all kinds of other shit, right? So be a smart agent and repeat the warning at the buyer consult, when under contract, a week before closing, and the day before funds are due. Repetition, it's going to protect everybody. And put it in writing. Obviously, we have the wiring fraud advisory notice for you. So it's just a one pager. They're going to remember it better when they sign something. So if you forward wire, like never do it. Never forward wiring instructions, because if you forward those casually even once, you're going to undermine your credibility. Also, if your email doesn't have multi-factor authentication, you're the weak link. You like that, Holly?
I do. I got to make sure we have it.
Agents, you should be able to confidently say, my email has multi-factor authentication and our brokerage has strict policies around wiring communication. I know we have it, Holly,
I know,
because,
just kidding.
but I'm just saying, like, you guys have to understand how much shit I've given Holly behind the scenes, because like I don't like it, but she's like, no, for cybersecurity purposes, we have to have it this way. We have cybersecurity insurance, we have all kinds of shit protecting the brokerage and you. So here's the thing, guys. Buyers, Holly worded this really great last week. She said nobody wants to feel stupid. And that really stuck with me. She talked about like maybe driving around downtown Chicago. She doesn't like doing it because she doesn't know where she's going. She doesn't know where to find parking. She just fucking doesn't like it, right? So buyers sometimes hesitate to double check because they don't want to offend anyone. They don't want to feel stupid. It's your job as agents to explicitly remove that friction. You need to say you're not going to offend anyone by verifying. Companies expect it. Title companies expect it. In fact, they appreciate it. They respect you for it. That permission is going to make them act. And then just keep it short. Don't like draw it out. Don't terrify them or anything. Don't drown them in technical details. Don't talk about malware and header data. Don't make their fucking eyes glaze over. Just focus on the behavior. If it's wiring instructions, verify by using a known phone number. That's the whole rule. Make sure you use the WIFM, tie it to what they care about. This is about protecting your down payment, your life savings. So when they understand the stakes, that's going to get them to retain the information.